This is my 1998 Suzuki Vitara.
The one thing I really like about Stephen's build here is it's a no-nonsense off-road rig. I just hope one day I can see that GQ in the flesh, mate, because it's an absolute rig.
Even though we've both got sheds full of vehicles, I'd happily fit that one in, mate.
I'd be going straight to their campsite and have a beer with those guys.
Jono, mate, first things first, I think, before we even say g'day, I'm going to crack a brewski, mate. Are you okay with that?
Oh, okay, mate. You're going to have to bend me rubber arm, mate. But
cheers,
big
mate.
Cheers.
How's the beach up there, mate? Looks fantastic.
Absolutely stunning. If this is the end of winter in southeast Queensland, sign me up, mate, because it's it's been a nice 25 degrees today, beautiful sun as you can see. The surf conditions, well, it's flat as a tack out there, perfect for fishing. And that's exactly what we plan to do tonight, mate. The Taylor on the run up here, so we'll be getting stuck in that a bit later.
Looking forward to this episode of Beers in the Shed because I think right now a lot of people are doing it a heck of a lot tougher than some others. Myself, for example, can't complain at all. So, mate, I'm keen to get into this one here and hopefully inspire some people to the light at the end of the tunnel where you'll be able to get in your rig and take off, mate.
Warrants a bit of a thank you as well for all those people that have kept following our channel, mate, and they've been locked down and we've been trying to bring as much content as possible. It's been hard on us as well to get that content out. We're just coming out of a lockdown in southeast Queensland, but I think it's a show like Beers in the Shed or Beers from the Beach or wherever you might be having a beer. It's sometimes just good for us to get together in this sort of four-wheel drive community, have a bit of a chat and a bit of an update on what's going on. And I think, mate, the name of this show is to basically visit a lot of people's sheds. Now, you guys have seen my shed, you've seen Graham's shed a heck of a lot. It's about time we went into a couple of other sheds and had a look what they're building because we've found a stack of really cool rigs that we're going to bring to you guys today and show you. Because some of these, mate, I think I've got enough vehicles in my shed, but I reckon there's always room for one or two more, and this show has given me a fair bit of inspiration, I reckon.
Yep. Mate, prizes. We always do prizes. I don't want today to be any different. What do you reckon?
Look, I reckon top 10 rigs will give a $100 Snatch gift voucher. So $1,000 worth of vouchers to give away today. That's pretty cool.
Shall we get stuck into it, mate? What do you reckon?
I think so, mate. I think so, and I think we should start off with a couple of international honourable mentions, mate. And I'll start with this one in particular. This one here is, I've seen this rig before and it's one of my favourites you can see why. I think anyone would appreciate this rig. We've got a 60 series on 40-inch tyres with custom bar work in a beautiful sandy beige colour. That is just an absolute weapon of a rig, mate.
You know what? Andrew's from Georgetown, DC, so he's not about to sort of pop up in my immediate future. I'm going to say the tyres look too big on it.
Nah, it's wicked. It's wicked. Like, look, just put it this way. If he decided to drive over to Iceland or something like that, he'd have no dramas whatsoever.
He's loving life. He's loving life.
He's loving life over there.
Yeah.
But over there, they can get away with those big mods. And I think it's just really cool that someone's got a wagon 60 series and made it so tough. I reckon that thing is just awesome. I wouldn't like to use that as my daily driver, but if you're out in the tracks doing the tough stuff, I reckon that would be super cool.
Well, speaking of super cool, mate, another honourable mention, international. This is Mike from the UK who bought a stock as a Rock Disco 2 TD5 and he's gone to town on it, mate. I reckon this looks cool. I reckon that is a very cool build.
You can guarantee one thing in the UK, mate. Lots of rain means lots of mud. Those guys, in those discos and defenders, they have a ball over there, that's for sure.
Really do. And he's done a great job there. 35, 4-inch lift. Built a homemade draw system to carry his son's wheelchair so they can wheel together. Absolute legend of a bloke, if you ask me.
Have a go at this. We've long time, I suppose, a lot of people have said we don't have enough Prados on our show. We don't give enough mentions. Have a go at this one here. This is a Lexus Prado from Arizona over in the US. This thing is off tap. Like, it still looks like a Prado, but obviously it's got a stack of mods done to it, and I think it's just a cool rig. I like this thing. It is a cool rig.
Yeah, it is a cool rig. I mean, you can just imagine pulling up to the soccer game to pick up the kids in that. They'd be stoked. They'd be absolutely stoked to get in that.
Exactly right. It's got big tyres. It's got, beadlock wheels on it. It's just a absolute rig, mate.
Yeah, it looks like he does a bit of touring in it too because she's got a bit of a wraparound awning on there, rooftop tent. It's got the lot.
All geared up for overlanding, and thought I'd give another honourable mention, mate, to this one here. This is, look, we have featured this one a while back,
it's
and it was sort of half built. I just want to show the progress on this Hilux over the last 6 months. It's nearly ready to be hitting those tracks, and holy heck, what a job.
Is he going to want it with that paint
It is the shiniest four-wheel drive I've ever seen. It's completely rebuilt, every single component of this rig, and it's just cool. It's just cool. I just love it when someone gets an old four-wheel drive and brings it back to its former glory. It's sort of saving one bit of four-wheel drive history, you know what I mean? Instead of just going to buy a new one, just restoring an old one, I reckon it's pretty cool.
Righto, mate. We've gone through some international honourable mentions. Let's get down to the meat and potatoes, the nitty-gritty, mate. Of those 1,300, well, there's more because it was across the entire social media spectrum. Thousands of entries.
Thousands of entries,
trolled through
absolutely.
them, mate. We've trolled through them. We've come down to our top 10. Each one of these people are going to win a prize. I'm going to start it off, mate. It's Monique and Matt with a dual cab chop GU that is perhaps the second nicest in Australia.
Far out.
No, they've done a lot of, look at the work done on this thing,
I know. It's a comprehensive build, especially when, you go to the effort to extend a chassis and chop a vehicle, just like this one behind it. You know, it's quite a build. This one's beautiful as well.
He's done a lot.
Just the proportions are right. It just looks good.
The whole thing's been done. It's a full rewire. Can you imagine doing a full rewire? I mean, you can. You've done it on the 30.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's a big job, mate. It's a big job. What I like most about this build as well, if you saw the before photo, it's not as if it was a bad GU to start with. So, most people would just be stoked with that. But to take something that looks like that and is that capable and then chop it in half and extend the chassis and all the rest of it, that's, hats off to you, Matt and Monique, because that's a rig. Now, the next one, mate, if I could have a go, I'm going to choose this one here. It is a big FJ40, so the little shorty 40, but I say big one because have a look at it. It's an absolute rig, mate. Big tyres, lots of modifications. What's so cool about it, though, is he's taken it down to a bare chassis and built this thing from the ground up.
Ground up. Yeah,
exactly right.
Literally.
And it's not just, he's done a bit of a dirty 30 with it as well. He's put a lot of different other parts in it. He's got a 1HD motor, so an 80 series motor into it, the factory turbo, but he's changed that factory turbo with an aftermarket one. Big 37-inch treps on it. It's got a modified winch. This thing is designed and built to drive hard tracks.
That's exactly what it's been designed for. That is not for going down to the shops to get your shopping. He hasn't thought of that. Because where are you going to put your shopping in that?
Mate, he doesn't need to. When you're driving a rig like that, mate, you don't need to worry about things like that. You just drive wherever you want to go, and you're going to get there.
You just make sure the windscreen wipers are working, so you can get rid of all the bras and niggers that get thrown at you whilst you're driving.
That's exactly right, mate.
Mate. Speaking of, mate, I'm sure Brendan gets it happening a lot on the streets with his 2019 Navara. Have a look at this thing, man. I've got a bit of a soft spot for Navs. I reckon they look tough. Yeah. Pretty much stock. They look tough. Yeah. But when you go to the amount of work done, look at this. He's done everything to it. It's he has to admit though that it's a more crawl at the moment due to lockdown. But Brendan,
that's all right.
It will not be for long, mate.
I've noticed he hasn't named his vehicle. So I just want to make a suggestion: the naughty Nav. you can take it or leave it. I don't mind, but just in case you're wondering what you should call him.
Yeah, we might leave it if that's all right with you. I think you should redeem yourself, mate. Get straight into the next one.
All right, well, let's just shake that one off. And this one here is an absolute rig, mate. This is not your standard modified, Land Cruiser or Patrol. Stephen here has done a number. Now, I've got to be honest with you, Stephen. The first time I saw a photo of this, it was a side-on photo. I didn't exactly know what build it was because it sort of looked like a GU Patrol, but didn't have quite the same proportions.
So this is my 1998 Suzuki Vitara. Just starting to tear it down so I can prep for painting the chassis and do all the bodywork. It's got a Toyota 1K ZTE 3-litre turbo diesel with a whole set HX27 and a 12mm pump. Should make enough power for it. Then it's got Nissan Patrol GQ exit diffs under it with flipped 80 series radius arms, 10-inch travel remote res coilovers, and then in the rear it's got a semi-triangulated 4-link with 10-inch travel remote res shocks, and then it's got, I've done a custom wide body that's all 2mm sheet metal.
So look, this thing is completely Frankenstein. He's built this thing to wheel hard tracks, obviously. It's got more flex than, you care to have. One thing I really like about Stephen's build here is it's a no-nonsense off-road rig. Like if you look at the approach angle, departure angle, it's pretty much got the perfect off-road angles, really good ramp over. With that much flex and all those mods, all the tough bits in it, he's got the big Patrol dips under it. He's not going to be breaking too many things. He's going to wheel this thing. It's lightweight. I just think it's a cool build.
Yep, no, Steve, 2 thumbs up from me, mate. Okay, Valentino, lockdown project from Derby, Tasmania. I'm really hoping to get to Derby this year, not to go wheeling. Don't you worry about that, though. 1990 Land Rover
There's also
Parenti.
cafes down there, isn't there, mate? Is that craft?
We're going to move on. You're breaking up. Terrible.
I don't know, one of the two.
Terrible reception. Terrible reception. Valentino, I'm sorry you've got to put up with this whilst it's your moment of glory, but, mate, I'll bring it back to the facts. 1990 Land Rover Parenti that he's built up over the last 8 months now. I reckon Parentis look sick. I've always thought they look pretty
cool.
darn wicked.
They are pretty
Setting
cool.
on a set of 35s, dual battery setup, front and rear lighting, of course, snorkel. He's got all sorts of good stuff on there, mate. UHF's bed and drawer setup in the rear. So he obviously does a bit of camping out of the back of the vehicle, which is a good idea. But it just looks like he hasn't gone overboard. It still looks like it could almost, be driving into a war zone, that thing.
Just one thing that would stress me out, Valentino, is if you've got a vehicle like this, right, you're in the scrub by yourself, and you decide to park it off the track for a moment, you might have to go to the bathroom or something like that.
Yep.
You come back,
Yep.
you can't find your car. Imagine
No,
that.
gone. It's gone. You're
It's all
reported to the
camoed
police.
up. It's all camoed up.
they come out.
You just have to walk home from there on. Oh, bugger.
Valentino, mate, that's a tribute to you. I'm really impressed with that. It's a nice build.
Yeah, have a go at this one, mate. You knew I was going to pick a Zook at some stage. This one here's from
mate,
Mitch.
had to.
And look, Mitch, you're going to win a prize, mate. This is an absolute rig. What I'm so jealous about your rig is it's not mine.
G'day guys, my name's Mitch and this is my 1984 Suzuki Sierra. Starting off, we got it from good family friends and with the intent for me and my old man to fully restore it from the ground up. We've stripped it all the way back to the chassis, painted all the diffs, all the chassis, cab inside and out and the tray. We've put an ARB bull bone with 12,000 pound winch, 9-inch bodies with the GME UHF aerial, 2-inch lift with 30-inch tyres, plastic snorkel. It's got 129,000 Ks on it. We've put a Detroit rear locker in the back diff just to make it a little bit more capable. And it's got dual batteries under the bonnet so that we can go away with the fridge in the back. We live in Victorian high country, so it's got the perfect backyard. Cheers.
I could see you and I driving that thing through Tassie with, a bit more space with a tray this time. We could actually fit 2 swags instead of one. And what a trip that'd be.
Yeah, it would be. That's sick. I just like the fact that it's a ute. I mean, the back could probably fit a carton of beer. It's that small, but it's still a ute.
I know, but it's still a ute,
Yeah.
It'd be an absolute rig. And with those sort of mods, he hasn't gone crazy on the mods.
No.
It'd still be lightweight, have a low centre of gravity, and it'll just fit between where the other vehicles sort of can't get to. So you'd find
Absolutely.
a Zook line in just
The
about
Zook
every
line,
tough track.
We were saying at the beginning, mate, that we could, even though we both got sheds full of vehicles and motorbikes and quads and all sorts of things,
Yep.
I'd happily fit that one in, mate. I would happily squeeze that one in somewhere.
What a rig. What a rig.
Absolute rig. Righto, mate. Now, I'm going to start this one off by saying Struth, Ruth, because it's terrible. The name of this vehicle is Ruth, and they have done one
Good
heck of
name.
a job. It's ground up restore again. I mean, he's done absolutely everything to this. It's a 1984 HJ60, in case you're wondering. But what I love the most about it is they've even put the original pinstriping back on it after doing a complete respray. And I think that looks pretty sick. I
The
like
old
that.
original decals, mate. That just sings retro to me. And
It does.
You know when you see another car with those sort of 80s decals, they're up for a good time. There's no matter which way you look at it. Like, they really are. Like, you know, I'd be going straight to their campsite and have a beer with those guys.
Yeah, if they let you. They've even gone so far as to paint they've even gone and painted the door trims, the carpet, cleaned it all up. They've gone nuts, mate. They've gone absolutely nuts on that, and well and truly deserving of a $100 snatched clothing voucher. As far as I'm concerned.
Another fun fact, mate. Another fun fact.
Yeah, go
That
on.
exact model 60 series, 84 HJ60 is the exact same one the Dirty 30 body is. Maybe we
enough,
introduce the 30 to Ruth. Look out. Oh.
That'd get tongue wagging.
A lot of oil everywhere. Anyway, I want to move along to this one, mate. This is a cracker.
Yeah, you should.
And we've got so many cool vehicles here. Like every single one of these, you'd own in a heartbeat. Right, this next one here, mate, an absolute cracker from Harrison. Now, Harrison had a 3-litre GU. Now, of course, he's got rid of that boat anchor 3-litre motor, and he's chucked in a big LS, mate, a 6-litre V8 into this thing. He's also chopped it down into an extra cab. Could you imagine wheeling this thing? Like, obviously, you take the canopy on and off. It would be, but you take that canopy off, mate, and, you know, it's all party. Put the canopy back on, you're back in business. Yeah, it's just
That's
like
exactly right.
He's done a hell of a lot, you know, 6-inch lift, it's got all the good gear underneath it, 37s, and they actually look in proportion on this build. I think it's just...
I mean, they're 37s and they look like he's running 33s on a normal vehicle. Crazy.
Exactly right. It's just well set up in my opinion, and done a lot of work, mate. And mate, look at the pipe work on the exhaust, mate.
Well, he's done that himself.
Yeah, it would sing a beautiful little note.
Sound off tap. Harrison, you're an animal as far as I'm concerned. Now, mate, there's a couple of things I want to point out about this next one from Scott, who's done a driveway build from bog stock on his highlights here, mate. He's done a lot of work on this bad boy, 4-link coil, shock rear, compounded turbo, hydro assist. I'm not going to go on because it's making me jealous. It is one heck of a build. The second thing I just want to bring to your attention is how does that person get in the vehicle in the first place, as it would come up to about their shoulder.
I know, with the massive big tyres on it. Look at that, it's just a rig.
It's a wheeling beast.
That would actually get Jocko, he'd just be shaking his boots right there. He'd be so excited.
Really?
Those guys would Scott and Jocko would just nerd out so much. They'd probably go on a 3-week camping trip, just the two of them. Well,
Scott,
I'm just you're going to win yourself a voucher for that one as well. And speaking of winning another voucher, mate, I've got something with the patrols today because this is another patrol we need to mention. What I love about this thing is actually the rear end of it, mate. It's not the first time I've said that. But have a go with that tray. It's very Dirty 30-esque, like the whole way that sort of looks. I just really I just like that. It looks tough, especially on an old car like a GQ, and my 30 looks a bit like a GQ too. So there's a lot of similarities there, except his is an absolute rig, mate. I just want to, look, except for this, little rusty, short wheelbase one I've seen over in WA a few times. That would be one of the nicer GQs I've probably ever seen, mate. Well, Sonny, enjoy your $100 gift voucher, mate, because you're a deserved winner, and I just hope one day I can see that GQ in the flesh, mate, because it's an absolute rig, and you don't see them like that anymore, that's for sure.
No, that's the keeper, that one. Put that in the shed, don't drive it, put a blanket over the top of it. It'd be worth probably a little bit more than it is now.
Be worth a carton of, probably 2 cartons of beer. Why don't you guys let us know what your favourite rig out of all the ones we show. We'll pick a couple to give away an Iron Jack merch pack. So all the good stuff in that one, mate.
Yep.
You're going to get all that cool stuff. So just in the comments below, let us know your favourite rigs.
Mate, I reckon we've been looking at a lot of very cool rigs in the last 10 minutes or so. I think we should probably share with the folks at home what we are doing at the moment, mate. I know you're sitting on the beach.
Exactly. I'm sitting on the beach, mate. Mate, but look behind me. You've got the 200 here on the sand. It's not in a mall. It's not in the shed. It's not in my driveway. It's out in the bush for the first time. This is the first trip for the big 200, mate. So tomorrow, lock the hubs in properly, get over to Fraser, and I'll put together a pretty cool crew. We're going to go over, chase some Taylor, and just get up to Sandy Cave, go to the West Coast, explore Fraser in this rig. And the last week, mate, this is what I've loved so much about this. I haven't really been spinning spanners. I've been organising camp gear and setting things up with those little clear top bags and just making things neat. I've loved every moment. I've changed the setup about 4 or 5 times in there. I've been like, kid's got his new toys and you go through and you're mucking around. I've had an absolute ball doing that, and I reckon it'll all change again after I've taken it out in the bush for the first time, but I'm pretty stoked with how this thing is going so far. What about you, mate?
Well, yeah, I'm at the opposite end of the spectrum, mate. The big 62, the big Y62, has finally arrived on Australian soil. It has left the car dealer on a truck, and it is currently in Toowoomba at DMW. And I'm hoping next week I can go and put a knife through the back of it, mate. Like, personally, I don't even know how to use one of those things, but I'm going to have a crack at it.
So you're definitely going to chop it in half?
I am definitely going to chop it in half and throw half of the vehicle away. Yeah. That is
pretty cool, mate. That is pretty cool.
Yep. So we've got a few plans.
Yeah, excellent, mate. Excellent. So what are you going to do with it? You're going to put a canopy, a tray?
Mate, the idea at the moment is what I want to do is a mid chassis extension, about 350, 400 mil. That's all. Not too big.
Yeah.
Then, of course, we're going to go down to see Timbo down at Mitts and he's going to do a canopy for me. But what I'm really excited about, mate, and I think you'll share this with me, is I really need to have a ute for what I do at home, all the things I need to pick up and do around the property. So I'm going to have the Mitts canopy come on and off when I need it, and I'm going to run some drop-down sides on it, so I've got myself a bit of a Y62 ute. So that's going to be a bit different, mate.
That'll be super cool.
We're going to go... Yeah, I think so. We're going to go the whole hog with it and, do a whole heap of bits and pieces. But the very first thing we're going to do is chop it in half. I'm not used to saying that. I'm going to chop it in half. I haven't even seen it yet, mate. It'll probably be chopped in half before I even see it.
I went through the same thing, mate. It's a bittersweet feeling, but look, as soon as that grinder goes through the side of your car, the good news is there's no turning back. There's no turning back. You're committed, mate. You're in for the hog. Yep. And those guys at DMW do an awesome job. And pair that up with a Mitts canopy, mate. You've got to have some of the best gear getting around.
I'm looking forward to it, mate. I really am. We're quite a few months off it yet, so I'm trying to sort of temper that excitement down a little bit by sitting next to sitting next to Shorty because that just makes me feel less excited every day. I'm trying not to think too much about it because we're still a little ways away yet, mate. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm very
all good things. Yeah, take a bit of time there, mate. Look, I
That's
reckon another bloke who's been doing a fair bit, there's no doubt in his shed because he can't go just about anywhere else, is old Jocko, mate. So I reckon we go check in with Jocko and see what he's been up to.
Hey guys, still down here in lockdown. As you can probably tell, I need a haircut. It's been a little while, but anyway, been ticking off a few little things on the Lux. I say little because it's a huge project and I've just sort of been tinkering away at it. One of the things I'm doing at the moment though, is cutting out the old floor. So it's pretty rusted, particularly in the front here, and I'm cutting it out in sections so that I don't accidentally cut into the supports under the floor. Once upon a time it did unbolt, but it's just so rusted and tired now, it's just easier to cut it out. And the other thing I'm doing is, so the 3RZ engine obviously came out of a later model Hilux, so it's got a few more electronics than what the old RN46 had. So this is the engine loom from the 3RZ. So right now I'm just figuring out what wires I need to join up to basically the body harness of the RN46. So that's where there's just a lot of time in figuring out which wires I need. As you can see, I'm just labeling bits and pieces as I go along and grouping them together. The way I'm doing that is with a wiring diagram like this, which tells me all the stuff I need to know, which wires go where. Once I've figured out what wires I need for this, I can then go inside the cab, pull the dash out, figure out things like ignition wiring and all that sort of stuff from the cab and join them up to this harness, and hopefully that should be enough to make it turn over at least, but we'll see how we go. Got a bit of a question for you though. Obviously I've got heaps of work to do on this vehicle, like a lot, but do you want to see more of it? Do you want to see what I'm getting up to on the vehicle? Do you want to see it slowly progress? Because if you do, let us know in the comments below. If we get enough interest, maybe we can film a bit of an episode on it, see what we're up to, because you know, I'm pretty passionate about getting this vehicle up and running, and if you want to see more of how I do it, then let us know in the comments below. Maybe we'll be able to put something together. Cheers guys, I better get back into it, eh?
Always good to hear from Jocko. I really miss Jocko. It's you wouldn't think I would say that, but I actually do. I'm looking forward to catching up, mate, and having a brewski. Now, quite a few of our mates in the industry, of course, are suffering from the same fate at the moment. They're locked down or they're really restricted in where they can go. So if it's okay with you, Sean, we might just do a quick ring around, say good day to a few of the boys and see what they're up to.
G'day guys, Pete here with my trusty GU Doug. So, done a few tracks lately and we haven't given him a lot of maintenance or a lot of love, so we thought now's the time to do it. We've stripped him down and we're doing all the basics, oils, filters, and making sure he's ready to go for the next trip. Exciting news is we've got a new bar and winch package coming. We're going to save that one for our next trip with 24/7. I hope you're well, stay safe, and hope to see you out on the tracks.
Hey guys, Carter here. The first thing you're probably wondering is, why is my hair so long? Second thing is, why am I missing so many front end parts? Now I can't actually get a haircut at the moment because of the lockdown, so I'm probably going to have to give it a go myself soon. And here's my front housing. So this is a GU diff. I've fabricated up this cover for the front here just to protect this center from getting dinted. And I've also made this RHS brace. Both of these are 6mm steel, so it should be plenty solid enough, and give it a nice lick of paint. So she's looking pretty sweet. And I've also got all my parts over there, CVs, hubs and whatnot, to put it back together. So I'm going to give it a go assembling this diff, chuck it back in. Hopefully there's no leaks when I'm done, and hopefully we can get back on the track soon. Cheers.
So as a lot of you guys know, we're running the ultimate Iron Jack Getaway competition right now, where some lucky buggers can come and win a trip with me to one of my favourite destinations in Australia. So we've already picked a couple of winners now, and right now we have Brad on the line. Brad, are you there, mate?
Yeah, mate, I'm here.
Mate, you are coming away, you and a mate are coming away with me to my favourite destination in Australia. How pumped are you?
Oh, mate, it's awesome. Yeah, can't wait. No, looking forward to it.
No, you're going to have an absolute ball, mate. We're going away to an awesome destination. This is sort of a bucket list destination. A lot of people would, you know, give their right leg to go to where we're going. I'm not going to give the game away just yet, mate. You and I can have a chat privately. I'll tell you all the details, mate. But all I can say is pack some sunscreen. Don't worry about the Iron Jacks. I'll provide those. Some fishing gear maybe, mate, and bring a strong stomach just in case I decided to cook. But other than that, mate, we're going to have absolute blast. So have you picked a mate yet or what?
Yeah, got one in mind. So no, looking forward to it, mate, and can't wait to get out there with you.
Mate, I can't wait as well. Will you take it easy until we meet again, mate? And just practice your casting, mate. That's all I can say.
Will do, mate.
Good on you, Rad. Well, how's Brad, mate? He sounds super excited. I suppose who wouldn't be? Coming away on the ultimate adventure, mate. Unfortunately, he's got to hang around with me for a few days, but Sounds like he's going to love it, though.
He will, mate. He'll have an absolute blast. And he's from WA too, so he's obviously a good sort, mate. You'll enjoy his company.
Yeah, exactly right, mate. Exactly right. He asked me if I could teach him how to fish when I get up there. I don't know about teaching him, but he's going to have a ball, mate. He's going to have an absolute ball. The good thing is, mate, there's still 2 spots left to win the ultimate trip away with me, mate. So this is a proper bucket list destination. You know, I'm not just talking about, you know, it's not, look, Cape York is cool. There's no doubt about it, but it's even better than Cape York. It's better than...
Yep.
I just can't wait till I can reveal the destination, but all you need to do is look out to enter the Iron Jack Ultimate Getaway, mate. Make sure you get an entry in, just like Brad. He didn't think he was going to win it, mate. Thousands of people enter these sort of things. You've got to be in it to win it. So make sure you got your eyes glued to our social media pages, because that's where we'll be releasing the next chance to win the Ultimate Getaway with me, mate. Though, here's something everyone can win with. Let's go to Jocko, mate, because he's got a cracking deal for us.
Hey guys, after the success of Oricom's Father's Day deals, they're back with another absolute ripper. Right now, you can get one of these UHF 360s and a 6.5 dBi antenna delivered for just $279. Now, normally this whole setup will cost you $428, so you're saving $149. This UHF was actually voted Best UHF CB radio and product review with over 80 ratings, around 4.6 stars, which is unreal. It's an in-car 5 watt and it's real small, so you can tuck it out of the way. You get a nice long cable to the mic, so you can mount this out of the way and mount this on your dash, and all the controls are on the mic too, so it's real easy to change channels and stuff like that. Pair that with a 6.5 dBi antenna, which is a really good all-rounder. It's the exact same one I've got on the Luxy. So if you want this kit, jump on it quick, because it's not going to last long at this price. Oricom.com.au.
Well, mate, you and I both know that Beers in the Shed, of course, was born out of these lockdowns, mate. This is exactly why this particular show even came to life, because of lockdowns, mate. So it's, without you guys at home, though, really wouldn't be much of a show. So we really want to say, we really want to say a big thanks to you folks for getting in touch with us. And of course, we do give away a few cheeky prizes. Now, mate, speaking of cheeky prizes, you don't get much better prize than a person for life. Another human being to spend the rest of your life with is one heck of a prize. And Skyanne here, it is probably the ultimate prize. Skyanne here just got engaged. And if you look closely, mate, they're both wearing matching snatch jumpers.
Exactly right. That's unbelievable. I reckon, look, if you're obviously getting married, you're engaged now, the next step is to get married. If the bridal party and the groom's party want to all dress in matching snatch, you just hit me up, DM me, and I'll even bring the Dirty 30 down as a wedding car, and we'll get the job done.
I reckon they're in WA, mate. So you got a long way to go.
Might be a fair old drive.
Yeah, it could be a fair old drive.
I want to bring this one up. This. We obviously
a lot of
released
people,
a video. In a tongue-in-cheek sort of way, but they were half serious. Look, we did some never-before-seen footage. A lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes. Now, this particular, it was just after a cooking segment, actually. Christmas, we're all going a bit tropper up in the Queensland heat. Found a little brown tree snake. I love snakes, got a real fascination for them. I was telling a story. I got bitten by that snake like 3 or 4 times that night, and I started feeling like a little bit weird. I thought that maybe the venom was affecting me, but I thought they were pretty harmless. Turns out that they've got they're mildly venomous, mate, those little brown tree snakes. And what I was feeling was probably a combination of the results of a cooking show and being bitten by a brown tree snake. Let's make it very clear, do not be handling snakes. Full stop,
kids,
really.
Don't do that.
Don't just pick a snake up in the bush. Luckily, I know.
Don't do it while you're wearing salmon shoes.
What species. If you're wearing salmon shoes and wearing a Santa's hat, probably don't. Not your best snake picking up a tyre. But look, I do know the difference between a lot of different snakes out there. Very passionate about our reptiles. And this one, he wasn't having a bar of it. But anywho, that won't stop me.
He doesn't. Yeah, he enjoys handling snakes. He really does. Big ones.
Not too bad, mate. I always suggest, mate, when they're a bit big, use 2 hands. But otherwise, if you're confident, just go with one. Up to you, really. Up to you.
And moving right along, mate. Whilst we, of course, couldn't get to all of the builds we wanted to, during lockdown, people have been exceedingly busy, as you know. And one bloke I just wanted to show you a video. He's made a video here of his 88 Range Rover Classic. And he has not wasted a split second of lockdown. In fact, I'm going to go so far as to say that, Travis, lockdown's been good to you, mate. I reckon the amount of work he's got done is fantastic. Yeah. And it just goes to show, he's obviously a bit of a handy bloke. He's done his own drawer system. He's done quite a bit of work on that himself. Good on him, I say. Good on you, Trav.
Yeah, exactly right. You just don't see enough rangy classics out there. It's another cool car, sprung all around. They've usually got a big V8 in them as well. They're just a rig, mate. They're very capable off the beaten track.
every owner that's got one is super passionate about it. They don't just go,
Yeah.
yeah, it's an all right truck. They love them. Absolutely.
I love them.
Mate, we've got one more here, if I may. This is from Chris. Now, he, again, been doing a whole heap of work during lockdown, during this darn COVID period. He's got himself 2,000 Hilux here, and he has built pretty much everything out of scrap or cheap and free materials. And he reckons it's
Look at
costing
that.
under $500
What?
to do what you see there. I reckon he's obviously a pretty handy bloke, mate. I couldn't do that. There's no way.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's
Look at
really
it, all
cool.
slides out and folds
Yeah.
and modular.
The cool thing, he's thought about that. You know, this is a bloke who's obviously done a fair bit of camping in his time. He's thought about it. He's got everything just very practical and all on slides and sort of just works. You know.
Yeah,
I reckon we just give Chris a little prize. What do you reckon? Like, we weren't planning to, mate, but look, that's such a cool little rig. I reckon $100 snatch voucher. Why not? Just
holy heck, it's Christmas.
Sort yourself out, mate. That's like 1/5 of your build there, right there. You've got.
It is. It literally is.
Well, mate, how about we move along from some epic builds to some epic fails? This one here, mate, look, these guys have come across just a vehicle that's completely flooded and sunk in a river.
Yeah.
And they've done their job to basically recover it, get it out of there. Sort of what we did on Moreton Island, mate. You've come across someone who's had a bit of bad luck and you just pulled that vehicle out and holy heck, that's proper flooded. I mean, I reckon that's a write-off completely, that vehicle.
Oh, that's. I reckon there's no doubt in my mind that's a write-off. But I wonder. I'd like to know the backstory. At what point do you go? Well, you know what? We'll leave her here and just see what happens.
When you can't go forward, you can't go back or sideways. That's the moment you decide you leave it there. You swim out.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Now, mate, speaking of someone not going backwards, not going forwards, does sideways count? Because we've got Brady here. He's obviously mucking around in the back paddock, and he's I don't know, he's decided he'll try and get up this little embankment.
Yeah,
and,
he's been watching a bit too much Graham on YouTube, mate. That's what happened.
He really has. Hey, you know what had spooked me out about this though? Have a look what's below him. He could have gone one more time over and he
I
would
was
have
just
ended up in
thinking
the
that.
dam.
I was thinking that.
Goodness
That's not pretty. That's not
now,
pretty.
everyone's probably sitting at home going, "Oh, silly, what was he doing?" Come on, who of us hasn't had a bit of a go in the paddock before? Had a bit of a
Yeah, young bloke, you have a little Graham Cahill moment. You think,
Yeah,
I'm going to
good on
drive that. I'm going to drive that, and probably had Taylor Swift blaring on the old AM stereo.
If he's got any class, he would have done. Absolutely.
Just lost complete concentration. Oh, I get it, mate. I get it. How about this one here, mate? If this one's a little bit of, well, I reckon we play the video, mate. Have a listen to this. That's all I want you to do. Turn your volume up and have a bit of a go. You ever want to see a bit of thong slapping, limiter bash in action? Here we go.
Yeah, mate, no doubt about it. That's got a certain tone to it.
And I love the fact that he's gone from that sort of, charcoal grey colour to almost a sandy taupe, just in one, one clean sweep of the accelerator. He's just changed the whole paint coat of his vehicle.
And he's done it really well too. Like I couldn't spray paint that good. It's really done a good job of it. Mate, I really wanted to show you this one here. This is Kelly and her partner and their Mog. Now, one thing about big trucks, mate, is when they go down, they go down hard. Yeah, they do. Now, look, Kelly says they were only 2 metres from hard ground here, and they've gone right down to the chassis. 8 hours of digging, and eventually had to camp out and wait for a recovery vehicle. Can only imagine. I bet you going forwards was probably the worst option too. You can see where they've tried to winch off a tyre. Yeah, that would have been a moment.
That's full on. That's absolutely full on. I mean, we've all been there. In fact, that's actually bringing them back memories from our next Cape trip, mate, which is coming out very, very soon.
Yes,
where That's, you're stuck when no matter what sort of recovery gear you've got, throw it out and get the old shovel out because you're just that stuck. You need to start digging. And that's what you guys can look forward to actually on our channel. Okay. That's coming up very soon, mate. Next week, we've got our Cape York Part 2, where we're in the farm truck and we go to the western side of the Cape to a station up there where even the owner said, this time of year, we never travel to those reaches of the station because it's underwater. We went up there and he was absolutely spot on. It was just black soil country as far as you can see. And we spent more time on a shovel than
we did.
Care to imagine.
I think he does that lap when he's burning off up there, and it sort of takes him 3 or 4 hours if he sort of does it pretty lickety split. How many days were we out there for, mate? I think it was like 4 or 5.
I think we did like 60 k's in 4 days or something crazy.
Something crazy.
And we got so far when we came to sort of the halfway point. We thought it might have been easier to go back through that boggy country where we completely got bogged. I mean, 4 days to get through. We worry we're not going to get out of that one. So look, that's coming up next week.
Now, I just wanted to say to all of you that are in lockdown at the moment throughout New South Wales and all over the place, Victoria at the moment, gee whiz, I think it's just about every state except WA and Tasmania, I think have got some form of restrictions going on. Oh, Queensland, you blokes are okay, aren't you? But you guys have been a bit sort of behind for quite some time now, so I don't really worry about you blokes. I hope you're all doing okay in Queensland as well. But guys, please stay positive out there. This won't last forever.
Yeah.
Vaccinations are happening. I'm not going to get into the politics of it all, but I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I know it sucks at the moment, but we're going to get there, and we'll all be out doing what we love very, very soon.
No, that's exactly right, guys. And thanks again for just giving us the support on our channel. Without you guys, I mean, this wouldn't happen. We do this for you guys, and we just love doing it as well, having a couple of beers in the shed.
And of course, mate, we've got some plans. I'm going to try and escape. I'm going to try and get out of WA, mate. We've got a couple of plans in place. So that means content from us is just going to continue as per normal, guys. We're not going to let a little bug keep us down. We're going to try and keep going. But again, thanks for the support, guys. Keep those hashtags coming. And more than anything, just keep positive. It'll all be okay in the end, mate.
Exactly right, mate. Exactly right. And just remember, guys, if you love the show, and of course you do, that's why you're watching at this point, make sure you like and subscribe. It takes about 2 seconds, and it means the world to us.
Yes, it does.
It's that 2-second press of the button, subscribe to this channel that keeps us going, keeps us doing what we do. So, mate, look, I'm getting dangerously empty here, and I'm on a beach in Queensland. I might have to go and just walk over there to the fridge and actually turn my camp lights on. It's just starting to get dark, so I might do that,
good on
mate.
you. I've got a couple of hours yet, mate. I'm actually doing some work on the GU at the moment, so I'm going to get going back into that.
Oh, it'll be dark soon enough, mate.
That's exactly right. Crack another brewski, and mate, I'm going to try and put a plan in place to see you very soon. All going well.
Sounds like a plan, mate. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. It's been way too long.
It has, mate. It has. For now, though, I'll give you a virtual cheers, and we'll catch up very soon. And to everyone at home, cheers, folks.
Cheers, guys.